So today I want to go over 3 different positions I think the Packers need to address in this upcoming 2022 NFL draft. These are, I think, needs that the Packers have regardless of if they fill them through the draft. I think there are a few different positions that they could definitely use, some more reinforcements in. And of course, right now, the moment I'm filming this is February 15th. And so lots of the moves the Packers are going to make will probably change some of these potential needs depending on if Rodgers returns, if Davante returns, which defensive players get signed. But this is sort of my thoughts right now with the Packers, with the current situation, with the different unrestricted free agents they currently have. 3 different positions I think they should target. And if you guys are new here, I put out Packers content almost daily. So if you're into that kind of thing, feel free to subscribe down below. So the first position I think the Packers should have drafted in this draft is wide receiver. If we take a look right now at all the different Packers wide receivers who are free agents, we have Davante Adams, the biggest one, unrestricted free agent. Maybe he stays, maybe he doesn't. Maybe the Packers place a franchise tag on him. We have Marquez Valdes-Scantling, also an unrestricted free agent. Who knows if he will be back? We have Equanimeous St. Brown, also a free agent. Then we have Malik Taylor, who is an exclusive rights free agent. We have Allen Lazard, who is a restricted free agent. And I feel like the Packers will bring Allen Lazard back. We'll have to see if they decide to give him some kind of deal or if they want to do like a second round tender or right of first refusal tender. That's a possibility. So right now, currently on the Packers roster at wide receiver, we have for 2022, we have Randall Cobb, Amari Rodgers, Juwann Winfree, and Chris Blair. So of course, a few of these guys who are free agents could potentially get signed, like Davante, like MVS. But with all the uncertainty right now in the air for the Packers wide receiver position, I think that is a position to address in the draft. Even if Davante comes back, why not spend, a first-round pick, second-round pick on a, elite wide receiver? You never know what could happen with one of those guys. And the Packers have been a team in the past who, haven't really addressed wide receiver in the first round. And I have heard from some different scouts, reading a few different articles, that they do believe that there's lots of depth at the wide receiver position. So maybe the Packers don't need to use a first-round draft pick on them. Maybe they could use a second-round pick and find some value there. But I think to add another weapon, regardless of whether Aaron Rodgers is playing or Jordan Love is playing, is always a good idea. So now moving on to the second position, we have edge rusher. So there is a lot of uncertainty here because Za'Darius Smith and Preston Smith both have very large cap hits coming into this next season. And with the way Rashawn Gary played this past year, I think it could make sense to let one of these guys go, free up a good chunk of cap space, and then maybe come in the draft or sign some cheaper free agent to bolster this edge rusher group. So if we were to let Za'Darius go, I believe we save somewhere around $15 million against the salary cap. So let's say, for example, we decide to release Za'Darius Smith and then we keep Preston Smith or Rashawn Gary. I think it is important to come in and maybe draft an edge rusher just to have some depth there behind those guys. Because we still do have Jonathan Garvin, Tipa Naliai, but I think it'd be important to add another body there just to, potentially have another solid stud back there over the next couple seasons. But we don't know what's going to happen with Preston or Za'Darius. Maybe they both stay, but personally, I would expect one of them to end up not being here. We'll have to wait and see, though, what the Packers decide to do in that area. And luckily, the Packers do have Rashawn Gary, who has just taken a huge leap forward in this year 3. So to be able to have him playing at this level does sort of afford us that ability to maybe let one of those guys go, save some money, maybe spend it somewhere else on guys who we may want to bring back, like Devondre Campbell, possibly Rasul Douglas. And then for the final position I think the Packers should address, we have the interior defensive lineman. So Kenny Clark is a beast. I think we all know this. Dean Lowry had a pretty solid season this past year. I think one of his better seasons. When you take a look at his salary cap, if we let him go, we will save around $4 million. So that could potentially make sense with the Packers having to free up lots of cap space. So maybe we let him go, address interior D-line in the draft, or maybe find a really cheap option as well. I think that's a potential option. Of course, we did draft TJ Slayton last year in the 5th round, and I think he was sort of progressing throughout the season. He's really good against the run. He's such a massive guy. He can just really, cause some problems for the offensive line. But I think to come in here and add another interior D lineman, I feel like you can never have enough solid D linemen. We saw just what the Rams did this past week versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals could not stop them whatsoever. The Bengals definitely don't have a good offensive line. But, the Rams' ability to consistently get pressure with all the different weapons and talented players they have on the D line, I think sort of shows a formula to win games, win the Super Bowl, add some more defensive linemen, some guys who can really cause issues, stop the run. If they can't run the ball, makes it that much harder to pass. So why not add some more strength there in the interior defensive line. So in this video, I just wanted to go over those 3 different positions of need, and then in future videos, I'll go over players I think the Packers should target, potential free agents, lots of things like that as I sort of start doing, more research into the draft and sort of see which guys I think could make sense here in Green Bay. But let me know your guys' thoughts on this, what positions you guys think are the most important needs, because I think there are other positions that could potentially make sense as well. So let me know in the comments down below. If you guys haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.